Now welcome back to Vampyr. We just arrived in the Pembroke Hospital and have an ongoing murder investigation. Patient, female patient, was killed. What's this? Oh, I did not know that they showed new dialogues, but it's probably mission related. It's an event, okay. Yeah, she was killed and they suspect some dude who became a skull, which are those rogue, stupid vampire thingies. Here they're still making it clean. Shit. Sean Ham, they think he was it, but I have the feeling it was staged by the strange brotherhood, by those people. What was the names? I'm not sure. But you know, those strange brotherhood people, that because nobody saw the actual murder and stuff. Oh, the blood is it's gone a bit. It was totally bloody yesterday.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scowl.
Okay, that is also not very good programmed, because we talked to her when it already had happened. She was standing here in front of the corpse, but we had not talked to the guy in the hospital who was running the hospital yet. And her dialogue options, this one's triggered after the discussion, and before everything was okay. So things like this are not good for atmosphere. It's not that bad, of course, but it's also not that good. Can we share this meal?
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
Have you killed this woman?
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they asked.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
It's also nice that the weapons are completely different but need completely the same things to upgrade them. It's awesome. This was the bug I was talking about the last time. This bitch did not trigger, so now Normally this is a mission that should have happened while we were there, and now we have to go back to get the bitch back to Whitechapel. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, but no one got sick this night. That's nice. He's sick all the time already, but I don't know. Maybe we can get there now later on. He mesmerized level 3 for this motherfucker. Oh, he's still a huge town where we were not. Probably going there now, I guess.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about...
Everybody's afraid.
As a nurse at this hospital?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that cabin.
Oh nice, they all respawn of course, and with higher levels I guess.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come? Or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
Sadness can be a terrible trap. It can entangle you and weaken your heart if you let it control your thoughts.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually, you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
This part of town is very fragile. I hope the trust so many people...
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
Matthew. The world has gone completely mad. Maybe I'll...
Goodbye.
So many new graves. Why do I still feel
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
for your phone. Are you deaf?
Oh shit, wrong button, man. Or say wrong door. I realized too late that it was a loading fucking door.
Sir, step away!
By the way, it's a bit strange that he's a surgeon. He acts rather like an anesthesia guy. I mean, he did surgery.
It seems the Freewen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
It's more like an anesthesia guy. Not so much a surgeon. And it really sucks when you don't have fast travel.
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin. Over there! There's one of them vermin! See them fancy clothes? This will fit off!
My guess is they're recruiting for some plenty.
In the meantime, the boys are waiting for our...
Yeah, well, we check this out tomorrow or so. Because I'm going off now, so maybe until then.